afternoon. And today we had a meeting, the regional meeting on Bay of Bengal Initiative for Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. First expert group meeting on science, technology, innovations. So meeting was successful, and there were 7 member countries representatives have shared their views in the technology sector. And Sri Lanka as a leading country on this technology sector, it hosts this meeting in collaboration with National Science and Technology Commission, in collaboration with Ministry of Education and Ministry of Foreign Affairs and National Innovation Agency. So there are a two-year action plan was adopted during this meeting, and a number of technical and technology cooperations proposals was discussed. And among them, that I would like to know the views of this important events output in the view through the policy and technology implementation level. That is the two things we shall discuss to the way forward, how we going to implement these initiatives outputs. So first I would like to introduce our participants for today's meetings. Next to me, Professor Veranja Karunarathna. He is the senior professor in chemistry and the chairman of the National Science and Technology Commissions, and who share the today meeting. Next, Professor Ajith de Alwis, the CIO, Chief Innovation Officer of National Innovation Agency. These are the two institutional heads and the leading figures in Sri Lanka. They are the people I would like to know their insights on the today meeting. First, I would like to talk to Professor Veranja Karunarathna. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So I would like to know from your viewpoint, and today we had discussed and adopted an action plan, and in the area in the science and technology innovation. So how are we going to take it forward, the today meetings outputs at the policy levels? How are we going to work on this one?
Since you asked me to describe how the BIMSTEC meeting would be fashioned forward in terms of the policy. Now, National Science and Technology Commission, as you know, is a commission dedicated to providing evidence-based advice to the government of Sri Lanka based on science and technology. And in this regard, policy that is implemented in order for the technology to move forward is critically important. So policy makes the ecosystem within which the technology emerges. And to that extent, I think the meeting today, 7 countries in the region, and countries such as India, very advanced compared to other countries, perhaps Bangladesh too, to a certain extent. So to understand what policies led to this India's emergence as a technologically superior country, and for us to learn from it, and also to understand why countries remain at very low levels in terms of innovation. Right? Is that because the policies that lead to innovation is inadequate, or is it just that there is inadequate supply of money utilized in research? So I think when it comes to research leading to innovation, I think money, research grant funding, and money for startups and its activities is needed. But in addition to that, I think policy makes the entire perspective, gives it perspective, the entire process, is dedicated to that.
I think it's very clear, Prof. Thank you very much for sharing insightful ideas and in this matter. And next I would like to go to the Professor Ajith de Alwis. So we are the two sister institutions, National Science and Technology Commissions with you chairman, and the one is National Innovation Agency, the one of the other key institutions. Professor Ajith, and how we could take it to move this from the that's action plan or policy level, then how we could move to the next, the technology and implementation, how we going to work way forward.
Vishami, I think from day one when we started planning this, we identified we want to have results in a sense that we want to have something planted on the ground with science and technology and innovation. So today it was successful in many ways. For one thing, the plan had technology being used in the ground level, getting people, science and others together, somehow creating some entrepreneurship, so which is what we were expecting with startups, and then problems within countries to be discussed with this boot camp concept. So we have this both startup conclave and the boot camp concept, so which means that either we have problems being shared among scientists, getting results. Second, some of these objectives being translated into a business or an activity entrepreneurship. So you see something results on the ground. So we hope that we have not really moved on with something that is purely a meeting, but something tangible will happen, and the society may see that, look, science is doing something for us. And we try to work across multiple technology domains, starting with, let's say, biotechnology, nanotechnology, food technology, and then going into remote sensing and certain areas as well. So across a range of technologies, we will be discussing and how we can bring these scientists together. And we want science to be more connected in the region, whatever the politics is. And that's one of the objectives. I mean, I don't know.
Science diplomacy.
Remember a case when we were writing this proposal, that going back into history, like when England and France was at war, Michael Faraday wanted to go to France. And even though in the 100 Years' War, Michael Faraday was given free passage through France and everything, all the science establishments were open, even though they were fighting as nations. So that is the spirit of science, and we would like to see that spirit of science among this region, really looking at solving problems and so on.
Okay, thank you, Professor. That means in the conclusion we can say that this forum, and we can establish a regional science diplomacy to the development and the welfare.
We call it STI diplomacy.
STI, so we can STI diplomacy, yes. Thank you, Professor. I think this is an ideal, what can I say, the ideal couple or ideal match, the National Science and Technology Commission that is making the policy, and the policy implementation, this must go to the NIA in the technology transfer or to see the tangible output. So I believe that we could bring some fruitful outputs and tangible outcomes based on this today meeting. And thank you very much for sharing your experience. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.